Welcome to the DO Boxing Show. I'm your host, Dameon Okposio, and welcome to another episode. This is going to be episode number 64, and I'm pretty happy with how the episodes have been going. We're going to be covering a lot of things in this short part here. The next couple episodes will be focusing on coaching, and then I think after that I might start introducing some of the magazines, the back issues that'll be at the actual boxing trade show. So for this episode number 64, it's going to be titled, Don't Change Your Team, Expand. So what I wanted to touch on was the fact that a lot of guys, a lot of fighters, a lot of boxers jump around coach to coach, gym to gym, and they cite many different things. You know, maybe their coach isn't bringing a certain aspect to their game, or their coach doesn't do a lot of hand pads. In my opinion, when I look at the most successful boxers, they're usually the ones with the long relationships with their coaches, whether their coaches were their fathers or they had a coach from the amateurs that brought them up to the professionals. And I think there's a lot to be said for consistency in terms of having a regular place that you go to train, or working with people that actually know you, know your habits, and that you can listen to, that you can trust, and you guys are working together. The best way to develop trust is over a long period of time. You know, you're proving it to, you're trustworthy to your coach. Your coach is proving that he's or she is trustworthy to you. And it's one of those things that works both ways. But sometimes I see fighters, they change coaches because they're going to a coach that they think has more credentials. And when it comes down to coaching, really and truly, it doesn't come down to how many credentials the person have. Because a person could be a great fighter doesn't mean that they're going to be necessarily a great coach. And just because somebody was a fighter, like, they could be a great coach because of that. They could have certain insights because they've been inside the ring. But there's also been coaches that have never fought before, like Enzo Calzaghe, and he trained his son to be one of the best fighters in the world, retiring undefeated. So, in my opinion, I always tell people, instead of changing, expand your team. Expand your team. And what does that mean? Well, if you have a coach and your coach doesn't do hand pads, or maybe he has bad shoulders, look for solutions. Be someone that comes up with solutions. You know, instead of the coach holding the hand pads, maybe they can use those long spaghetti foam things that people do sometimes to work on head movement, or find another coach that does strictly pad work for you. There's all kinds of different solutions that you can utilize, but sometimes the solution might be adding people to your team. And I know sometimes people think, okay, well, I gotta split what I'm making with this person and that person. But if you're adding people that are going to increase your skills, the likelihood is that you're going to be able to make more down the road, and that person is going to not only be able to offer their skills to improving you, but also they're going to be able to bring their network into the circle as well, and then you guys can grow as a team together. So that's my small piece of advice for this episode. Remember, you can ask us questions about anything, or we can go in depth more about something that we've covered already just by sending us a message through Twitter at DOKPOSIO, or through Hotmail, okposio@hotmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Dameon Okposio. And then you can get every episode of the DO Boxing Show. Don't forget, episode number 37, we have our first contest, and it's available for all Canadians anywhere in Canada. We will ship the prizes to you, and we want to thank you again for tuning in to another episode.